The Farm Mudgegonga, Episode 11. Dave McAuley, a busy man, currently doing his best work in his excavator. He loves a coffee and he's always got time for people. So we'll see how we go getting him out of that machine. Let's go talk to the legend.
Davo, I've got a coffee for you.
Hey mate.
I've got a coffee for you, mate. Have you got a couple of minutes? Turn the machine off, mate. Come and grab a seat.
Righto mate, here I come. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Nice job
There you
with
go.
that new road coming into the farmhouse. It sort of looks like a bit of an airstrip at the moment. What's going on there?
Oh well, we've decommissioned the original driveway coming into the property. So, which is it's a bit of a big deal because I guess that's been the access to the place for many years. And but yeah, we've made some changes and decided that we weren't going to use that anymore. And so I've dug it all up and turned it back into what's going to be a paddock. So it did look like an airstrip for a while, but one of the neighbours thought we were going to start flying in and out. But no, it'll have grass growing on it in a couple of weeks.
So mate, I must ask, what hat are you wearing today? Are you earth moving? Are you a vet? Are you a plumber? Or one of those other 100 hats that you often wear?
Not allowed to be a plumber, Darren, so...
Okay.
Yeah, sure I can actually do a little bit of plumbing. Today, all sorts of things today. Obviously getting that driveway ready to sow. So going to be a contract pasture seeder for a couple of hours.
That'll do.
And we've got some ladies here from Myrtleford that are helping us plant some trees down the creek. So getting them organised. And then the hardest part of all is getting you organised when you're here. That's taken a bit of sorting out.
Well, you have plenty of names, mate, and we call you a new name every day. But So in this episode, I want to talk to you about this area in particular, the social farm, and then in a few days' time, I'd love to talk to you about the broader farm.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So you are a man of many talents, mate. We all know that, and you've been instrumental in setting up this social farm. So I've kind of asked Judy, but what do we call you? Farm manager, building executive, what is it?
Oh, goodness. Well, no, I don't see myself as the farm manager. It's Judy's property and she's, been in charge here for many, many years, and I'm not here to, definitely not here to take that role and at all. But yeah, really, I guess just to help facilitate some of the dreams that Judy's had in the last, whatever they've been over the last 10 years that she's always wanted to do here. So I'm not sure what you call that person, but just here to help her realise her goals and her dreams, really. Yeah, whatever they might be, whether it's on the farm itself or with the care farm. I feel good about what I'm doing here. I feel like I'm able to utilise all this many skills that I've learned over the years, and so I just see that as my role without giving it a name. I don't really know. We all have a role here. I'm not sure. It'd be like me trying to say, well, what are we going to call you, Briggsy?
Well, mate,
that's unexplainable, really.
It's bloody awesome what you've done, and like it's not finished yet. It's really amazing, and everyone's gobsmacked at what you've done. So real credit to you.
Oh, thanks, Briggsy.
When did you first arrive here?
About in my 40, about 3.5 years ago.
And did you think it was going to be such a big project?
Well, no. I just actually Brendan Collins asked me to come out and give him a hand with putting in some water pipes and that he'd organised some big tanks at the top of the property to try and get a better water supply to the houses and the sheds and things. And so I came out and did some digging and then there was ongoing work here. And I got a little bit of an idea of the sort of things that Judy was thinking about doing, and she was keen for me to come back. So I just said, look, I'll come back when I can. If I have a spare day here or there, we'll come out and we'll do a bit for you. And I do remember, her toying with the idea of me, coming here full time. And I remember saying to her, look, I just don't really think that you'll have enough work. We'll come out and I guess in my mind, I was thinking whatever it is she wants to do, we'll do that maybe in a few months or 6 months at worst, and then that would be, that would be the end of it. And but yeah, as I stayed, I think I was coming out here on and off for nearly a year, and doing bits and pieces, and I did, I realised after spending many hours with Judy, listening to her ideas and what she wanted to try and do here, and listening to her story as well, and just what it all meant to her, I started to sort of understand what she wanted to do, and I guess I did. I came to a point where I realised that, I can, I do believe I can help you, and made that decision to basically stop my business that I had for nearly 25 years in Albury-Wodonga, and come out here full time, and live just down the road, and now I'm in my 4th year, and some days I have trouble seeing what we've done. But I know we have done a lot, I know. But
I get gobsmacked too, because we'll spend weeks on doing drains and the perfect drain, and it's all neat and tidy, and we go and put a pipe in and cover it over, and we look back and go, what have we done?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, earthworks is a bit like that. We tend to bury all your good work, and but other than taking a couple of photos, it's gone. Yeah.
Talking about Judy, she's a unique person, and it's such a gutsy move she's taking on. What do you think of her?
She is a unique person, and the longer I've been here, the more I understand about how she works, and the way she thinks, and it's fascinating. I find her life actually quite fascinating, because she was born with a gene that she has no control over, the kindness gene. And it's a bit like me. I was born with blue eyes and a bald head. Still got the bald head.
That's okay. Apparently they're smarter, mate. The bald head men are smarter.
Not sure, but yeah. And it's something that you can't help. You're born with it. And Judy certainly has been born with the gift of kindness and generosity. I think actually it's a challenge for her in some ways, but it's a great thing, and it's like it's something that she doesn't choose. It's something she just has to do. She has to be able to give. She has to be able to be generous, and she has to be able to help others to basically to be who she is and to be healthy and happy. She needs to do that. It's not something that she, can choose to be kind one day and not another, type of thing. Like it's just in her, and it's and the more you actually spend time with her, the more you understand how this is with her, and certainly with the project she's taken on here, that is exactly that. It's kindness, it's generosity, it's caring for others, and it's just something that she has to do in her life, and it means a lot to her. So, and then, the farm side of things, like she was born here, she'll tell you herself, like, farming is not necessarily her strong point, and she's incredible with the cattle. She's learnt so much. She's someone who studies, someone who can read and take on all that knowledge and retain that knowledge that she does read about, and in doing that, she has developed wonderful skills with her cattle and her breeding, and she should be so proud of that. But she's also been involved in some of the most incredible things on a national level. With Autism Australia, I think she was the CEO. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, but of that. And she was involved with the National Party, as a young person. She's got an AO, and she's been involved in at government level in all sorts of different areas, and she excels and in those areas. She's a great decision maker. She knows how to get people interested, involved, and get things happening, and that's what she's good at, and she certainly does that here. Like she can make a decision. And we've got a very happy crew here, and a lot of that revolves around the fact of who we're working for. And she just, but to be able to, I remember one day earlier in the piece when I first started here, we had a heifer was having trouble calving. It was on the weekend, as it always is, and I came down and give her a hand. Not that I did much, because she had it pretty much under control. And but anyway, we got the calf out, and all was good. And you know, she was covered in everything that you get covered in when you're pulling a calf. And she goes to me, "Do you reckon you could just let this cow out and sort this calf out? I've got to go and give a speech at the cancer centre in Albury in 1 hour." And I'm like, how does someone who's, you know, just been pulling a calf end up giving a speech an hour later? I don't know, at a cancer centre.
Well, beautifully said, mate, what you said about Judy, and I'm still learning stuff about her every day too. So now, mate, this social farm, it's got to have a bit of a universal design, doesn't it? And like, we're catering for everybody, so paths have got to be a little bit wider, and there's got to be different structures to suit different people.
Yep.
How do you cope with this universal design?
Well, yeah, it has been. It's been a bit of a challenge, because the block of land that we're building the care farm on is on a slope, and it's roughly about 7%, which is, you know, over the fall of the block is, you know, it could be 7 metre drop, you know, which is quite steep. As far as if for wheelchair access, or, you know, if people are elderly and that sort of thing. So the paths we've tried to keep on a gradient of about 20 to 1, yeah, which has been difficult. But what it's actually done is it's actually created some really interesting spaces on the slope. So we've cut into the hill in different areas and created a little space there, and so that we can run a path, you know, around that to get down, you know, a bit lower. And we've put in retaining walls, and yeah, it's actually made it interesting. It's made the whole block here far more interesting, a lot more work, but it's actually been a good thing. It's been a really good thing. Yeah.
So, mate, do you have a plan and write stuff down, or do you just roll with the moment?
Well, initially, I would just listen to Judy about what she wanted, and what she wanted on the care farm, and not so much about how she wanted it to look, but more, you know, the sort of things she wanted to have here. So yes, I did, for the first sort of 6 months or so, start developing. You know, we built a shed and an area for a veggie garden, and working on trying to get the levels down and keep the water, you know, pushing water backwards rather than letting it go down the hill.
You put in some long days here, mate, starting and finishing in the dark. So do you actually even own a clock?
Oh, no, I don't own a watch. It doesn't really worry me what the time is. I'm fortunate that I don't have to worry about it. I just do my own hours, and I do my own thing. And if I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I'll just keep going. And yeah, I know I do it. Yeah, I do it with joy in my heart, to be honest. Yeah, it makes me feel good, and I'm very happy. Yeah, very happy. The hours, they don't mean anything to me, really. Like, you know, my kids are grown up, and yeah, I guess in that side of things, I'm able to do that, and yeah. So, but I've been loving it. Yep. Yeah, loving it.
What's been your biggest challenge here in this sort of 10 acres or so around the social farm?
Oh, that's a hard question, actually. It's well, the whole thing has been definitely been a challenge, because we haven't had a plan initially, and yeah, I was winging it a fair bit, and I do a lot of thinking while I'm on a machine, and I don't know, things just come to me as I'm buzzing around doing what I'm doing. And I think I've always been amazed at the volume of soil that we've had to bring in, and how we've had to sort of set that out because for me, and there being no plan initially, I just imagine what it needs to be in my mind, and then I just build it. And unless I can build that bit first, I'll probably, you know, or while I'm building that bit, something else comes to me, and then I can start, you know, working on that as well. But yeah, I need to have a vision of it. But really we got to a point where I was like, okay, like we need help in this area, and I knew and had done work for Catherine O'Neill, the beautiful Catherine O'Neill, and she came out here and she was just amazing, and with the little bit that I had started, and with all her incredible ideas.
So Catherine O'Neill's a landscape designer?
Yes, she is. Yep, she's a landscape designer. Yeah, so she worked with Judy and worked through the sort of things that we wanted to try and incorporate into the farm, and then she started working on a master plan. Yeah, which was just fantastic.
I love the master plan.
Yeah, and I know Judy just loved having her here, and so now we have a very, very clear picture about what about what we're doing, and in some cases we couldn't stick exactly with that master plan, just with the pathways and that sort of thing. But we've just made small changes here and there. But overall, wonderful. She's been wonderful for us. Yeah.
So we talked about the biggest challenge before, but can you give me the scoop and tell me about your biggest mistake, mate? No one's listening, I promise.
apart from yesterday, and wiping the door off the ute. My biggest mistake. Oh my God!
I've got a photo of one of them.
I don't actually nothing too drastic. I don't think that I can think of. Unless you, what are you thinking of?
No, I was only thinking about we've been bogged, you and I, and we got one day there. We got bogged for 6 hours, machine after machine after machine, and truck and trailer, and
that was a good day. Yeah. That was the day Amazon rang me telling me that I owed them money, and I'm not a member of Amazon, so poor old Amazon got a bit of an earful that day, and because we had the tractor bogged, we had a truck and dog bogged,
full of road base.
Yeah, yep, and a whole heap of other things.
Then I went and got the 4-wheel drive tractor out of the paddock to bring that back and help us out. Then I got bogged over in the paddock.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Then I bogged the excavator.
Yeah, getting bogged here is just nothing embarrassing about getting bogged. It's winter time. It's just going to happen. Yeah.
I've made a mistake here that I felt really bad about, and once we talked about it a little bit, Judy said, we've got to make a few mistakes to go forward. And I thought, that made me feel a bit better.
Absolutely, and I think, well, we're just talking about Judy again. I have made mistakes here, obviously, too, and it's part of life. But, she's incredibly forgiving, and I think probably my biggest mistake is having a dog who ate most of her ducks, I think, within the first 6 months. That didn't go down well. I reckon that, there you go, there's my biggest mistake. Yeah. Okay. Not controlling my dog well enough.
Yeah.
Even though I think that her dogs actually corrupted my dog's mind. But So, but other than that, pretty good. But forgiveness is good.
Now, we're conscious of the sentimental value around here, and these changes, they're like 100-year changes. I've noticed you've coped well, but it's dug a bit deep in a few spots, hasn't it, when we've moved sheds that Mary's had something to do with building or trees or planting, and she's had all her life here. So that's been a bit hard to cope with, hasn't it? Yeah,
it was, lucky for me, that was one thing that I recognised very early, was the importance of the fact that Judy had spent her entire life here, Mary's been here for 60 years, and that everything as it was when I first came here is how it had been for a very, very long time. And so to come here and just start tearing into things and pulling things down and, all that sort of thing, I thought to myself, because I grew up on a property as well, and I thought if that was my mum and dad and a young guy like myself rocked up and just thought he was going to come in here and knock everything over, like they would just be devastated. And it has been a bit of an emotional journey with lots of things, but we've tried to we've kept everything that we could, and we've reused things in a different way, but they're still here. And I think that's been and I think just being really patient and letting Judy and Mary just absorb what was happening around them, and nothing got pulled down without their permission, if you like. And so it's been a really smooth journey that way, but it could have been something it could have been something different, I think. Yeah.
I can see that you've had enormous respect for that,
Yeah.
and we're lucky. Just quickly, and I did speak to Mary about that, and she's all okay with it all. She loves what's happened. And I spoke to
Mary
her.
used to scare me.
She scared me too, even before I met her.
Yeah.
Now I love her.
Oh, me too. 100%.
Did you see her whizzing past on a mule there before, 100 miles an hour? She goes a bit quick sometimes.
Oh, look, she's just an absolute daredevil. She lives for the minute without a doubt, and well, I think she's 93. Is she, Darren? Or
That's
not
it.
Sure.
Yep.
Um,
Coming up 94.
yeah.
End of the year.
Yep. She's as funny and as bright as you could ever imagine, and yeah, we do love her around here, and I think, to be honest, she loves us too, which is good, a good thing. Yeah.
She did tell me she gets the whip out on you.
She does. She is a bit hard on me sometimes. Yeah, lots of questions. You know, what happens? You know, that was there for 60 years that I was here, and now it's not there. Like, what have you done with it? And all those sort of things. But yeah.
And you've used a lot of materials from here, haven't you? And so even timber, all the different clay types and the decomposed granite, that's all come off farm.
Yeah.
And rocks and so forth for rock retaining wall.
Yeah, it's been a real win, because doing this sort of work, I couldn't imagine, you know, bringing materials, you know, from every material that under the sun from out of town, or, you know, the freight and all that's, you know, huge these days. And I don't think I've ever known a property that's just so full of just natural resources. Yeah, amazing rock in abundance. It's got some of the best decomposed granite I think I've ever seen. You know, we've used that many times over the years in town. But yeah, the decomposed granite here is just an endless. You can dig a hole for 6-7 meters, and it's just the same all the way down. It's incredible. Yeah, and the timber we have used, some timbers from the property here, and the neighbours have helped us out a bit with milling some things that we've made, and made our potting shed out of, and all that sort of stuff. So it's been lots of good stuff here. Yeah.
Talking about St Michael's, we have some crazy names for various places around here. We've got Swan Lake, where I believe you and I are going to be doing some dancing one day.
Right.
We've got the Nudie Beach.
Nudie Beach. Yeah.
Also the one that you named down at the front gate, the Rock of Knowledge.
Yeah.
Where is that rock, and is that where you do some of your best work?
Griggsy. Well, look, it's like a lot of things. It's just evolved. I've always been fascinated with the water here. There's just so much water here. Probably I've come here in the 3 wettest years I've had in a long time, but which has been a blessing as well, because I've got to understand how things work a bit. I kind of just thought it would be nice for water to be a bit of a feature of the, or it should be in my mind, a feature of the property, and certainly a feature of the care farm. So on the driveway leading into the care farm, we built a waterfall, and I built a dam and rediverted some water, and then you and I mostly, I think, with your clever ideas, built a nice little waterfall just at the entrance to the property, and then we sat a rock. We just thought this would be a good place to meditate and whatnot, and drink beers and stuff, and we placed a rock and called it the Rock of Knowledge, where whoever thought they were the smartest on the day would sit and tell us everything about their life. So that's where all that came from.
Now, mate, I want to talk to you about water and the broader part of the farm maybe next week, if that's all right.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, mate, I've learnt an absolute mountain from you, and I'm so appreciative and proud to call you a great mate.
Yeah, likewise, Griggsy.
You've got through your first episode, mate, and thanks for your time, mate.
Oh, thank you for pinning me down. So I have been avoiding this a bit. I don't know why. It's always a joy talking to you, no matter where it is. So, and I've just loved being able to work with you too, Griggsy. You've just been a wonderful asset to this whole project here. Come here with a heart full of joy every day that you come, and we all feel it and really appreciate it. And you've been a really good friend to me over the years, and love you. Good on you.
Too kind, mate.
Thanks for doing what you're doing here too, and helping out Judy, and and getting the word out there. It's great. Well done.
My pleasure. Thank you, mate. And we'll chat next week.
All right, that sounds good.